Dark Wings, Dark Woods, but was it another dark and depressing episode? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment for Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 2 review. Now, this one is called Dark Wings and Dark Woods. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that Season 3 has been dark or depressing or that it sucked, but for me, it hasn't exactly blown me away. It just feels like Season 2, where it's just not as good as Season 1. But I think with Season 2, you were a little bit more invested because you were coming off a really strong Season 1, like a really great Season 1. For me, Season 2 was, it was good, but it was only good. And obviously you had that great episode at the end, Blackwalker. We gave it a 10 out of 10. Great, fantastic, perfect, no complaints. But for me, I was just hoping that overall Season 3 would be better, because Season 2 was, a downgrade on Season 1, but so far it's just kind of continuing on where Season 3 left off.
It's a direct continuation. Continuation. I can barely get the word out, but you know what? We're 22 episodes in the Game of Thrones. I am massively disappointed. I'm not going to sit here and say it's bad, right? It's good, but I just don't get the hype about why it's in the greatest TV shows of all time conversation.
True, but you know what? I could say the same thing about The Sopranos.
Yeah, but I don't consider The Sopranos. When I look at both of the shows at face value, obviously I've only watched 22 episodes of Game of Thrones. What would I say is up there more? I mean, honestly, it's a tough one because I think both shows are similar. I think both shows produce 10 out of 10 episodes, but then for the majority of the season, it's lackluster. I look at this and I just think, I look at other TV shows and it feels like seasons are great. I look at Game of Thrones, it feels like it lives off battles that are solely confined to one episode. I don't like Season 2. I thought was bog standard, and I don't see how Season 3 is going to.
I wouldn't say Season 2 was bog standard. I thought Season 2 was decent. I thought it was decent.
No, I'm talking bog standard in terms of your top TV shows, right? The Walking Dead level, to quote what Trev Shantu would say. But I just expect it more. All you hear about is, Season 8 fucking sucks. How bad can Season 8 truly be compared to the lower episodes of Season 2 and 3?
Well, from what I've seen in tier lists and stuff like that, Season 2 was considered to be, if you don't count Season 8 and Season 7, Season 2 is considered to be the worst season. And I think Season 3 is considered to be worse than 4, 5, and 6.
I think my problem with the show is that I know a few moments, right, in episodes like The Red Wedding, right, and things like that. I think this show's going to have a lot of 10 out of 10 episodes, but it's is the entire season actually going to be good? Is it a show based off moments rather than actual structure? It feels like that. It's you've got the big woman walking around with Jaime Lannister, and it's that feels like it's been going on for about 10 years, and they're fucking nowhere near closer to their destination. You've got Daenerys. If it's not some shitey sand land, it's another. And then you've got Bran and the rest of those. What? How have they not got further? You know what I mean? I get it. The Westeros is big, but how big can it really be? Anyway, I think it's about time we get into the episode.
How big can it be? Damn it! Anyway, let's get in. Beyond the wall, Jon Snow's marching with the free folk. He's talking to Mance Rayder. Mance Rayder explains that his army is diverse, and he's got about 90 different groups or clans of wildlings, and they're all coming together. They speak 7 different languages. There's numerous internal rivalries, but he says he managed to unite them all by telling them the truth, that they will all die if they remain north of the wall. So, I guess the wildlings, their mission, their aim is to get across the wall, and the people on the wall are in the north. They're trying to, they're trying to prevent the wildlings from getting in.
There's 99 beefs, and I couldn't care about a single one of them. But I tell you what, I think this character's actually alright.
No, I do like Mance Rayder, but for me, it seems like the people of the 7 Kingdoms, they shouldn't be worried about the wildlings. They should be worried about the White Walkers. So I don't know why they just can't put their differences aside. You look at Jon, he was on the wall, and he seems like he's fitting in with the wildlings. So it's why can't these? Why is the people on the wall The Black Knight, the Black Watch. Why have they been? Why are they? What's the big rivalry?
Yeah, it's all about narratives at the end of the day. It's like the first 2 seasons made you think that these wildlings were fucking evil bastards, but now it's like, hold on, actually, is it like Craster and co and, Kellen Ashby?
Hold on, Craster, I know, he's the one that's allowing that guy to, give babies to the White Walkers.
But then, seeing, like, Season 5, is Jon Snow going to join the White Walkers, and it turns out, the wildlings are also pretty bad? I mean, come on, where do we draw the line here?
Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to happen, but, basically,
we get any Black Walkers?
I don't think so. We see there's a man, and he can scout ahead because he can see through the eyes of crows, which I guess is pretty cool for him.
A Call of Duty kill streak or something.
Lord Commander Yor Mormont of the Night's Watch, he leads the few survivors of the slaughter at the fight at the Fist south in hope of reaching the wall. Tarly is exhausted and he claps. Rast is annoyed that Sam hid during the battle and thinks that he should be left behind because why should his black brothers die while this guy hid? But Sam is upset that Gren and Ed abandoned him at the start of the attack. I mean, if your fat ass refused to move, then I don't see why you should be upset.
When I recall it, he more got lost than got abandoned.
That's what I thought.
And I think there's a difference.
Mormont tells Sam that he needs to keep moving, and he sternly forbids them to let Sam die, and he says that if Sam dies, then Rast will also die, I guess. So, I can see Rast's point, man. If Sam didn't fight during this fight at the Fist, and the rest of them all died, then that kind of sucks, but is that not a battle that we should have seen? All we really got was the aftermath of it.
Yeah, him waking up beside all the White Walkers.
It just seems to be maybe they wanted to keep the White Walkers a bit more, mysterious and keep that for maybe later seasons rather than reveal them in an all-out battle.
I get that, but I mean, I think once you've already seen them in the flesh, it's like, well, is that not already it then?
I don't know, but talking about this battle, when we didn't even see it, it happened off screen, just a wee bit weird.
We're not talking about all the Kingslayer and stuff that happened prior to the show.
Yeah, no, it's happened right now. So to have a big battle that's happening in this current time frame, but not to show it, in my opinion, is a little bit weird. We have Bran Stark, and he's also got this three-eyed raven technique where he can see through ravens and crows, and we get this guy and his sister. They sneak up on him, and it turns out he can also see. And to me, this just didn't really do anything for me, to be honest. Jojen and his sister.
This kid has been in something, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, no, I recognise him.
What is he in? I mean, it would be a quick Google search away, but I actually want to figure it out for myself.
You know what? What was that film? I know this is totally off topic.
Is it to do with him?
No. Oh. What's that film? It was based on a book, and I cannot remember, but it was like a plane crash, and there was a bunch of boys on an island. And they're stranded.
Is it the 4 of them?
No, there's a lot. A group, what are you on about 4? You think of Stand By Me?
Aye.
Oh, what's that got? When's there a plane crash in an island on Stand By Me?
No, not Stand By Me. No. That's when they're walking on the tracks. I mean,
aye, there's no. What's this book? It's based on a novel.
I can't remember what it's called.
Did you go to school? Out of curiosity.
I did.
Everybody, Sticks and Stones or something.
Sticks and Stones.
No, come on, no. Think. See,
this
is serious here. There's a fat kid. They call him Piggy.
Sounds like a shitey version.
No, come on. This is serious.
No, let's talk about the episode.
No, I know, but just I'm trying to.
I'm not going to get it. I'm retarded. Right, cards on the table. I'm not getting this movie.
Listen, the point is, right? They're all stuck on this island, and they have to survive. Kind of they turn into crazy and they start killing each other. Point is, I think that in the last decade and a bit, we've actually got a lot more good kid actors, and I think that would be a good movie
to
remake because. See, previously, I think it was very rare to get a good child actor. I mean, you look at Home Alone, yeah, it was good, but how many movies did they actually have where kid actors were the main folk? A lot of time, you look back at old movies, and kids were kind of just there to be seen and maybe had the one word or something like that, the one line.
Yeah.
But now, I think you'll get nowadays, and you're seeing a lot more younger kids or, children.
What do you call Sarah Connor's kid? That's another name. It's just
John
Connor. He was alright.
But he was more like a teen. But I get what you're saying.
Aye, obviously on the drugs now.
But anyway, now you look at Stranger Things, and you look at it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyway, honestly, this guy's face, he's been in a lot of stuff, and I just can't name one thing. Was he in, what's that movie? Percy Jackson? I think he might have been in Percy Jackson.
Well, you talk about this wee group then.
I'll talk about this wee group. Did absolutely nothing for me. You've got the guy who we recognise but can't recognise. He's getting buried. It's like no kid that age should let his sister do all the fighting for him. I tend to agree. I mean, come on, this is quite pathetic. The fact that he needs his sister to do it. But I mean, Bran did.
Yeah, but is he not pretty much fucked? He's not like a good fighter or whatever.
But he's a man. Well, he's a boy. Fuck me, man.
Well, I'm sure fucking Arya would fight for Bran, wouldn't he?
Oh, it's different. Bran's legs don't work. This guy's legs and arms both work, man. He could definitely put up a fight, but I mean, we did see in like the
Lord of the Flies.
That's what he's in.
No, that's that film I was talking about.
What year did that come out?
The book or novel, 1954.
What are you doing?
It was a British
1954.
British author William Golding.
Goldfinger.
William Golding.
Anyway, I mean, this.
I just can't believe you've never heard that novel.
No, I've heard of it. I've just never read it. I was more of a Mice of Men kind of guy.
I've read that as well.
Which was shite, by the way.
Nah, I thought it was very sad.
I thought the movie adaptation was pretty good. He just fucking shot him.
I tell you what.
Build up in the movie, just shot him.
I tell you what was better. I mean, I know you've got people say, "Carol, look at the flowers." Nah, that scene where he tells the guy to look. What's he telling him to look at?
Look downstream.
Something like that. Anyway, I was really sad.
George and Benny.
George and Benny. Anyway, we'll just move on. I don't really care for this little group here.
Yeah, there was no Daenerys this episode, which...
Was there not?
No.
Strange. We go to Dreadfort. Theon Greyjoy is being chained up. He's being tortured. They want information. I guess this is... I'd have to imagine this is one of Robb Stark's armies, bannermans or whatever. I mean,
he's getting tortured. He's not giving up. Well, I mean, he is giving up, but they're not buying it. And then I believe it's Ramsay Bolton tells him it's going to be all right. Is it Ramsay Bolton?
Aye, Ramsay.
I thought Ramsay Bolton was a key figure. He seems like a fucking errand boy.
Seems like a jobber here. So Ramsay says, "Don't worry, I've been sent by your sister, and I'll come to your rescue. But you must wait until the castle's asleep." And then he puts the bag back on a desperate Theon. As Theon cries out for help. So Ramsay here is telling Theon that I'm going to come and help you. You just have to wait till the end of the night. So
you have to wait.
Doesn't look good. Doesn't look comfortable though, being on one of those mad, backboard things. Getting nails and screws driven into you.
Pretty shite.
I wouldn't want that.
No.
We go to King's Landing. King Joffrey has been fitted for new clothes in his chamber. I mean, these clothes just make him look a bit fucking gay, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, it makes him look gay.
No flowers. I mean, because all these other bright fucking colours are, making you look
super... It's funny to say gay, because he spends this entire episode just burying Renly.
Very true, but I think a lot of people buried Renly.
I was sworn to protect my king, Joffrey.
Yeah, it looks like Joffrey's had enough of his mother telling, just trying to...
At least,
protect him.
See, Margaery, what is it, Margaery Tyrell?
Aye, Margaery Tyrell.
She's not a fucking shitebag.
No, she's not.
She fucking says it as it is. I respect that.
Yeah, and looks like
her grandmother's pretty good as well. I actually thought probably the best scene of the episode, actually. I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah, so we actually get introduced to her grandmother, Lady Olenna Tyrell, and she sits Sansa down, and she wants to know what kind of man King Joffrey is. And
is this a trap? Is this... But I don't think it's a trap, but it could be kind of a trap.
Sansa kind of bullshits at the beginning, before admitting that, Joffrey is an arsehole, I hate him, he's an evil man, he's this, he's that. And Lady Olenna is like, well, my granddaughter can't be marrying this guy.
Right. Joffrey is a prick. I don't think anyone's going to deny that, right? But is the key difference not the fact that, Ned's death and betrayal, in quotes, played a massive part in the way Joffrey treated her? I'm not saying he's going to treat Margaery Tyrell fantastically, right? Or accordingly. But she is going to be way up the pecking order compared to Sansa.
Yeah, true. But I mean, does Sansa deserve to be treated like shit because Ned was honourable and wouldn't fucking go through with lies?
Yeah, but Joffrey was...
So what you're saying is...
But Joffrey believes that Ned was bad. He's been manipulated by Cersei. It's not like Joffrey came up with this master plan. You know, you've got to look at it. I think too much hate gets put on Joffrey's door. He's been manipulated at a young age here to believe that Ned and things like that. Joffrey makes a lot of shite decisions. I'm not saying he's innocent, but he's not the...
So from Joffrey's point of view, he genuinely believes Ned's a traitor that was trying to steal the crown?
I think so. That's the way I...
Whereas Cersei knows that Ned was...
Aye.
Right.
For sure. Cersei
that's a fair point.
Cersei wanted Ned to be spared, and then she was shocked when Joffrey was like off with his head. And that proves my point.
So, if you're just looking at it from Joffrey's point of view, you can kind of see why he killed Ned.
Yeah, so then, and then when Sansa speaks in a positive light about her father, you can see why Joffrey takes it bad. But, here, that's because I'm whipping out the high IQ move for a dumb fuck. I'm not, man. I don't even know why I'm burying myself. No, I think there's a lot of people...
You're a good guy,
I think there's a lot of people watching this show who wouldn't have caught on to that.
I don't know, a lot of people that watch Game of Thrones like to think they're Einstein.
No, but you're not looking at it though and see...
No, it's a very good point. It's a very good point, but I mean, you have to wonder this. But I mean,
Joffrey's young.
I don't know, but at this point, man, you think Joffrey kind of knows? I mean, he's kind of
yeah, but say he found out at this point. Months, years, I don't know how long it's been since Ned died, but I mean, he's got to go with the act. It's not like he can go up on stage like, I see that guy I killed.
I'm not the king.
I'm not the king anymore, brother.
So yeah, Sansa's worried that they're going to cancel the wedding, and that means that Sansa will be stuck with Joffrey again, but Elena assures her that's not going to happen, and that Sansa will be fine.
Should have just left with the Hound then.
Yeah, she sneaks into Tyrion Lannister's new chamber. He says, you got to be careful. My father will kill you if he sees you, and that's pretty much it. She then basically brings up Rose, and he mentions that he had sex with her back in the day. Well, she's a whore, so I guess everyone does. Then she says that they need to try and protect Sansa from Baelish. Tyrion says he no longer has enough power or influence in an attempt to do that. And he brings up the fact that he's not surprised that people are interested in Sansa because she is an attractive girl. And then Shay gets upset about this, and she says, why do you find her attractive? She's not even an adult and all this stuff. And I mean, I don't think that's what Tyrion was getting at, like, but Shay took this pretty bad. I mean, I think
what he meant is that she's attractive in a sense of, like, she is a Stark. She is somebody that can be used as leverage. I don't think he meant it in terms of looks, even if she is attractive.
No, I think he did.
But even if he did, right, it's not like he's like, well, she's mine.
Yeah, I know, but it is different, like, I mean...
She took this fucking bad, and I don't understand why she took it bad.
Well, she took it very bad, but, like...
But this is where Tyrion's a bit weak. He's like, hold on, I'm a fucking Lannister. Know your role.
And it's hard to describe it, like, but I mean...
Is Tyrion more of a star?
Just because...
Missing half it?
Just because Tyrion described her as attractive, it doesn't mean that he's, like, a nonce.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I get why you could definitely, like... But no, I mean, it's weird. It is fucking weird. It's like, that's just something that happens. Like, you know, maybe you'd see, oh, you're a very attractive young man, or you're a very pretty, you know what I mean?
We've seen in House of the Dragon that, you know, Viserys was going to marry, like, a 10-year-old, right? Which was just fucking beyond weird. What was her name? I can't even remember her name, but it's like, at this point...
That's how good that show is,
That's how good that show is. But, like, Sansa is, like, was going to marry Joffrey. She's about, what, 14 here?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure...
Point is, she shouldn't have took this fucking bad.
No, but she took it very bad.
Especially in this time.
And that's not what Tyrion... Yeah, I mean, fucking back then it was probably acceptable in that shape, but... I mean, that wasn't what Tyrion was going for. He was saying that other people found her attractive, not him. But it is what it is. He spoke and she didn't like it. Margaery then is summoned to Joffrey's chamber, and she basically just listens to him complain about his mother. And she talks about her sex life with another man, Renly, but she says that they only ever did it from behind, really.
Up the ass like Renly wanted it.
And Joffrey, Joffrey finds this. I mean, I don't think Joffrey's. I guess he finds it a little bit funny that was the way they done it. And yeah, basically, he seems more interested about her love life with Renly. And then Joffrey tells Margaery that he's considering making Renly's perversion punishable by death. But she manages to divert attention to the new custom crossbow. So maybe Margaery hears, maybe she's pro-LGBT. But Joffrey doesn't seem like he's pro-LGBT.
It's a weird one, because no, he's definitely not. But you feel like in this time, it was. I mean, you look back in the old days, man. It was. You would have been killed for this.
Definitely.
I feel like this is like a woke Game of Thrones thing to try and like put the debate in there. Like, oh, could we ban it? Could it be punishable by death? But I mean, I don't think this scene was particularly bad. I mean, what else do we have this episode? We've got Fat Pie.
Let's go to the Riverlands.
The Riverlands? Who's in the Riverlands?
Robb Stark.
Oh, what did he do this episode?
Absolutely
no, they're
nothing.
all in the Riverlands, aren't they? Everyone's in a pretty close proximity in the Riverlands.
I don't really know. Robb Stark's in the Riverlands. I mean, not a lot's happening here.
The guy told me, he's like, I think you're not still on when you married her, mate. And it's like, you know what? Fucking pointless marriage, actually.
Yeah, so we have that, really. Not a lot else is happening here. Caitlyn is locked up. She's praying. She tells Robb's new wife that she prayed for Jon Snow to die, and it didn't happen. So
again, just fucking embarrassing. See if you've got a beef in that situation. It's not the kid, right? It should be Ned or the Whoa that he had the kid with, who you probably never even met. Why take her out on Jon Snow? Yeah, he's not yours, but he's Ned's. And if you're loyal to Ned, you should be loyal to the fucking kid. Yes or no?
Yeah. So I mean, that was that.
What about Arya?
What does the Robb Stark stuff do for you right now? Because it really doesn't do much for me.
We are in limbo. We are idle. No, but this is the problem, right? We've got a war, but it is literally being dragged out across too many episodes. It just feels too stop-start. And then, like, they mentioned here, like, oh, we've lost men here, we're not seeing it. We're not actually... Like, they're talking about men are being lost and battles are being lost. Where? We don't have a fucking map.
Yeah, I mean, even the big battle, we didn't even get to really see nothing. We just seen Jaime Lannister got captured, and we got told how he got captured.
See if there was these battles being won and lost. Like, you look at King's Landing, it doesn't feel like there's a war going on. Tywin's just fucking sitting there.
They don't show much in terms of battles. They really don't show much. Blackwater's the only battle we've really seen.
Yo, Blackwater was epic, right? I mean, you can't do that every episode, but Jesus fucking Christ.
No, but I think we could see at least a few battles a season.
Could an episode not start with like the final 30 seconds of a battle? If you don't have the production to show a full one?
Yeah, anyway, Caitlyn talked about how she was maybe regretful that she prayed for Jon Snow to die.
That's awful good, yeah.
Promised Ned that she'd treat him like a Stark, and she did not. Did Ned drop the ball? Should he demanded that his wife, was nicer to Jon Snow? I mean, I'd say so.
But then Ned wasn't even that nice to Jon. He kind of fucking blanked him, didn't he?
Did he?
He can't. Not entirely, but I feel like their last like.
I don't think we seen Ned ever on screen treat Jon Snow worse than he did Robb. Apart from the fact that Robb had to get titles and stuff because he was the actual Stark.
You know what? I think they've dropped the ball. Game of Thrones with Ned Stark and Jon Snow and Robb Stark.
You think he treated him worse?
I don't say he treated him worse, but it's not like in the 2 seconds they shared on screen. I don't think it was particularly epic.
Yeah, see when you think about it, right? See about is it halfway through episode 2? Ned Stark never sees Robb or Jon again. That is unbelievable. See when you think about it, like I think there should have been a lot more on-screen stuff with Ned and Robb and Jon.
Fucking damn right.
I mean, pretty much. Maybe not even halfway through episode 2.
You know what? I think season 1 of Game of Thrones should have been how Robert got the throne and Jaime killing the king.
And then what? Just do a total time skip with all new characters?
That'd
that'd be too much like House of the Dragon. I don't think shows work when you're having big, massive 15-year time skips.
What was it,
If you want to
15
see,
years? How many years was it?
if you want to see that, you can have a prequel.
Well, but then it's not Big John Beam or Sean Beam or I always call him Jim Beam.
Well, hold on.
I think Ned Stark got a bit wasted in this show. He was the best thing, and they killed him fucking far too early.
Yeah, he was best character and he died, but that sucks.
I'll die by that.
But like you said, well, he's my favourite character by far. Not too far away in the Riverlands, we've got Arya, Gendry, and Hot Pie. You know what? For a trio, I think this is all right. I mean, I prefer what these three are doing over anything with Robb Stark or over anything with Dragon Girl or...
Yeah, but not the problem is with these three, and like Gendry and Arya.
Don't really have much of a purpose, don't they?
I don't think Fat Boy or Fat Pie can do anything. But it's like, how much of a time skip do we actually need to have? The reasons are actually effective in battle.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, Gendry probably could do. I think he can maybe hold his own.
You see when they interact here with this group, they are getting the piss ripped at them. They're not a serious threat.
No, so they ask him where they're from.
Fat Pie standing into the dinner.
Gendry, well, Arya says that Gendry worked for someone in King's Landing. Was that a lord, not a blacksmith? And they say that the blacksmith was he was robbing everybody, but Gendry says nah, he wasn't robbing. It was just because his work was double as good as everybody else's. Fair enough. So Gendry here showing a bit of loyalty to his former employee. And I mean, the people at the local inn, they're men of their words. The Brotherhood without banners. When we first see them, you maybe think this is a antagonistic group, but you know they feed these three and they're willing to let them go. So they seem like they're actually all right. But as they're about to leave, this big guy with a hood walks in. He's been captured. And it turns out that it's Sandor Clegane, it's the Hound. And
what are you doing with Stark's daughter?
Yeah, he turns around, he sees the Stark bitch. And now everyone obviously knows that Arya Stark is, you know, the daughter of Ned. Is this a problem?
I feel like the Hound, right? He was willing to protect Sansa, and now he's just kind of fucking threw it out there that here, that's Arya.
Yeah, but like, what's the situation here? Are the Brotherhood without banners? I mean, would it be an issue if that's like, would they hold a ransom or
they don't seem like the kind of guys that would use her as leverage in order to get up in the world. They seem like they feel like mercenaries.
Yeah, but I just don't really see what what they're going to do. Anyway, we'll have to wait and find out what happens next episode. And I think last but not least, we've got the whole Jaime and Brienne stuff. And you know what, man? I think Jaime Lannister's he has a good character. He's probably won it. He's up there. He's not my favourite. He's not Ned, but I think he's a funny guy. He's got it's witty into it. Like he's got a unique sort of humour to him.
Yeah, but my problem with Jaime Lannister is like, how long is this guy going to be under captive in this show? It's like it's been 12 episodes or something.
And I think these two actually kind of make a good duo because like maybe they're so different.
Yes.
So no, I do enjoy the dialogue between Jaime and Brienne, although there's not much dialogue coming back for Brienne. But that's kind of, I guess, the point there.
They should have killed the guy with the horse.
Yeah, so they see a guy with a horse, and Jaime says, "Look, you need to kill him. He knows who I am." But Brienne's like, "Nah, we ain't going to kill him. He's just some randomer. There's nothing going to happen here." And he basically spends the entire walk just burying Renly. So I mean, it was you said it was Joffrey that buried Renly. I think it was more Jaime.
It's funny how Renly was just getting buried.
Yeah,
throughout this entire episode by numerous people.
Must
be that Lannister blood.
Maybe the Lannisters mustn't like the gays.
I don't speak ill of the dead. But yeah, they get to the bridge.
Maybe it's that rivalry they got with the Baratheons.
It could be that, but they get to the bridge. They have a square go. I liked it. Jaime tires out.
Alright, so Jaime then manages to grab a sword, and he says that's why he never carried two swords, and I guess it kind of does make a bit of sense. Although if he was carrying two swords, maybe he would never got captured in the first place. So
potentially, he took down 10 Stark men, Robbie.
10 Stark men. It would have been good to see it, but we didn't get to see shit. So yeah, they get into a bit of a battle here, but I mean, honestly, it looks like how Jaime was just playing.
Also, I actually need to address this right here and now, right? Catelyn Stark's whole plan is for Brienne to take Jaime to King's Landing, and they're like, right, give me my two daughters for Jaime. What is stopping them from just shooting her at point blank range and taking Jaime in? This Brienne person can't take out all of King's Landing. Explain. They have no fucking loyalty, the Lannisters. They've got no honour. What is stopping them from
It just seems like another dumbass plan for Catelyn Stark.
You're hinging the only bit of real leverage that Robb Stark has got on a pipe dream.
Yeah, I just don't see why they wouldn't kill her and just take Jaime back. But it says
And then
here...
Brienne's what's supposed to get 2 kids halfway across Westeros.
No, I mean, it seems like a deal that the Lannisters would be happy to make, but it's like if Brienne turns up on her own, it's like they wouldn't need to make that deal. They could just take Jaime back, surely.
Yes, that is the point.
But, and even if they did give her the kids, I mean, they could just send a fucking group out to hunt her down and take them back, so it doesn't make much sense. But apparently, Jaime has been chained up in a cell, malnourished, for over a year now. So the timeline says he's been captured in a year. So it's understandable that he was pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
And that's why he couldn't really do anything.
Absolutely. He runs out of steam.
And just when he runs out of steam, we get riders from House Bolton. They arrive by a man named Locke. Jaime asks if they want to negotiate, but Locke says that he'll have his head if he doesn't bring the Kingslayer back to the King of the North. So there's not much Jaime can do. He obviously realises, damn it, I'm going to be taken prisoner by them. And he tells Brienne that, they should have killed that guy after all because...
But then this is Team Bolton. We've just seen Ramsay Bolton. What's going on? Bolton magic?
Oh, Bolton's worked for... Ramsay's dad's one of Robb's right-hand men, so...
So why is he freeing Greyjoy? Down.
Is he freeing Greyjoy? We'll have to wait and see.
Why is Ramsay Bolton been sent by Greyjoy's sister, who's against the Starks?
We'll have to find out. We'll have to wait.
I mean, do you see how the constant shipping and changing? It can feel like a bit of a clusterfuck. But
yeah, but here's the thing: you don't know that's Ramsay Bolton. You know what I mean? You know it's Ramsay Bolton, but if you're watching the show, you don't know it's Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, but I do know.
Yeah, but if you're watching the show for the first time, you don't. So you're just assuming that that's...
technically that's not true, because I knew it was Ramsay Bolton because I played the game. And I knew it was Ramsay. It's the exact same motion capture guy. Looks spinning.
Aye, but if you're watching the show for the first time, you don't know that's Ramsay Bolton, so you're not going to be putting...
This is my first time, though.
Yeah, but you know because of the game. If you're new to Game of Thrones, you don't know that's Ramsay Bolton, so you're not putting...
Is Ramsay Bolton double dipping?
Maybe it is.
Anyway, let's double dip this review. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I'm going to get a 6 out of 10. My issue with Game of Thrones is, it's like, I've never really seen a show like this where there's so many different plots and arcs and stories and locations, and there's some that you really like, and then there's some that you just have zero interest in whatsoever.
And that's what gives a struggle for a 10.
I get it, right? See, like Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, right? There will be certain scenes, there'll be certain characters that you maybe don't like. And I get that, right? I mean, you maybe care... Obviously, you want to see Walter and Jesse cooking rather than see Skylar complaining in the kitchen. But you kind of feel like, seeing Breaking Bad or Sons of Anarchy, you feel like the majority is focused on, like, the core character. Like, seeing Sons of Anarchy, you feel like the majority of every episode is featured around Jax in the club.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Or in Breaking Bad, the majority of the episodes are featured around Walter and Jesse and the whole... And it's like, the rest of the episode is filled with the other little stuff. But seeing Game of Thrones, like, you can literally get 15 minutes dedicated to something you just do not care about. It doesn't feel like any particular story here gets more screen time than another.
No.
So seeing Sons of Anarchy, like, maybe the club will get maybe 70% screen time, and the 40% is divided between everything else. But seeing Game of Thrones, it literally feels like you're getting an equal split of every location. And if you don't care about half the stuff that's happening, there's 50% of the episode you don't care about.
Yeah, and that is the big problem with it for me. It's like... But then when they did it with Blackwater, it was so good.
Could kind of just featured on Blackwater.
It was entirely Blackwater, so... I mean, it has its pros and cons. I like the fact there's so many characters and so much going on, and I do think, honestly, if they just spent, like, say, say you got 5 episodes and one episode was dedicated to King's Landing, then one episode was dedicated to the Riverlands. I don't think the episodes would be as good.
I don't think they'd work because, I mean, let's say the first episode, whatever that's dedicated to, you're going to have to wait another, like, 6 episodes until you go back to that?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, there's only 10 episodes in the season.
But here's the thing.
That's a lot less episodes than most shows.
A lot of people say Walking Dead, let's just use Walking Dead for example, a lot of people say The Walking Dead went downhill when it stopped focusing on the main character, the main group, when Rick Grimes stopped being the main focus and they started going into other groups and maybe having episodes dedicated to one particular group. Would you agree?
Yes.
Well, see, that's what Game of Thrones has been doing that from the get-go.
I guess it's different though when you do it for the get-go or when you start doing
yeah,
it.
Yeah, but do you not think in season 1 there was less stuff going on?
Oh, I
think in season 1 the main focus was Ned Stark and what was happening in King's Landing.
But what you could say with that is that
but I think
the
now
show begins though with like John's with Ned, right? Then he goes elsewhere, but then you've got like Robert and Ned interacting a lot. Now what you've got is like different groups and different. In season 1, it was really just the Wall, Daenerys, and then like King's Landing, and maybe back to wherever the Starks live. Again.
It feels like Game of Thrones season 1 feels like a steak. Episode 1 feels like a steak, and then at the end, like the further you get into season 1, the more pieces of the steak you're cutting up.
Right.
And then you get into the further season and you're cutting it. So you start with like one big juicy steak, and then by the end of it, you're getting like a sliced and diced steak. And some of those dices and slices you don't like. Right. But anyway, you're getting at 6, I'm getting at 6. Probably an analogy there, didn't they work, but it is what it is, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.